Here in the shop is the Tormek T-8 water-cooled sharpening system. Let's unbox it and check it out. In the box, of course, are all the parts and accessories you need. Looks like we've got a little bit of assembly, and then we'll be able to fire it up.
Initial assembly of the Tormek is very quick. Mount the grindstone on the shaft using the easy lock nut at the end. Take off the honing wheel and give the wheel a quick rough up with some sandpaper, and then remount the honing wheel. Apply some of the supplied oil to the honing wheel and put on some honing compound. Mount the angle master magnet strip and slide on the water tray. The Tormek T8 has a handy knob for raising and lowering the water tray. There are indents that easily click it into place at each level. Add water with the stone running and let it absorb. It takes quite a bit at the outset.
And that's it for the initial setup of the Tormek T8, which I found surprisingly fast actually. Now the T8 is a fully cast zinc frame, so there's great tolerances now for the universal support, both in the vertical position and in the horizontal position. Now these holes are all cast into the body. It's got an industrial AC motor that's going to keep the revs, the revolutions per minute, under load. It's going to keep them constant. So no matter how hard you're pressing on sharpening your tools, it's going to keep this wheel spinning really smoothly. Of course, we saw the water tray going up and down here with the knob at the back, which is pretty handy, and that water tray easily slides on and off. Also here at the front, there's a little scraper now with a magnet. So the shavings, as you're grinding your metal sharpening, any shavings that come off into the water tray should get collected here with the magnet. And then of course you can use the handy little scraper for cleaning out your water trough. The Tormek T8 is a water-cooled sharpening system, which means that this grindstone here is running through a trough of water, keeping it nice and cool and keeping the dust down. So since it's so cool, you never have a problem with overheating your tools or damaging an edge. Now, a few things that I really like about the Tormek T8. The first is that it can sharpen just about everything, which is really awesome. From straight blades such as chisels and plane irons to curved things such as your turning tools, carving tools, to longer blades like planer blades and molding knives. It can even do scissors and axes, to kitchen knives and kitchen cutlery knives, all the way through to even drill bits. There's a variety of optional jigs and accessories that you can mount onto this system to sharpen just about anything, and that is really cool. Now, another thing that I really love about this is that it's an all-in-one sharpening station from coarse to fine to ultra fine. So this is the only system that you need for those tools. This grindstone here is made up of a 220 grit material, which is coarse. So for quickly removing material from your blades or resetting angles, you can use that 220 grindstone. However, with the included stone grater, you can polish the outside edge of this grindstone with the smooth side, which changes the grit on the outside from a 220 to a 1000 grit. And then you're going to go ahead and start polishing that original scratch pattern to a nice smoother one using a 1000 grit. And of course, you can come over to the honing wheel with the honing compound and give it a nice mirror finish for a razor sharp edge. So let's go ahead and sharpen something so I can show you how the system works. I've got here a premium Lie-Nielsen chisel that I've been using around my shop, so it's gotten a little bit dull and could definitely use some work getting it back to razor sharp. Now, for a detailed look at all the steps on how to sharpen a chisel, check out our other video. Here, I want to breeze through all those steps and show them to you and get to the results.
For straight blades and irons, we're going to use the SE77 that comes with the Tormek T8. Load the chisel into the jig and lock it down. I dialed in my desired angle using the included Angle Master guide. Set the grindstone to rough using the coarse side of the stone grater. Then grind away. I keep pressure evenly across the blade and use the entire stone back and forth. Of course, I monitor my progress as I go. Once I achieved an even scratch pattern, I use the fine side of the stone grater to switch the wheel to a finer grit. The chisel goes back onto the stone for maybe 20 seconds or so to get that polish. Finally, I set the universal support to the horizontal position and reset the angle, again using the Angle Master, on the honing wheel. About 10 to 20 seconds of polishing and the blade is done. I quickly polished the back to remove the burr.
So those are the steps for sharpening, polishing bench chisel. I did it on the Lee-Nielsen premium chisel, got a nicely polished front edge. Let's go ahead and give it the paper test just for fun. It's not a bad test for showing you how sharp things are in the shop. So I just got a piece of paper, try to start it here at the front. Easily slides in, easily goes right down. Oh yeah, love that. After sharpening that chisel, let's go ahead and take a look at the water tray. To remove that, go ahead and lower it here with the knob on the back. And to lift it out, you just simply lift slightly at the front and slide it straight out. Now, I don't know if you can quite see all the filings here have gone straight to that magnet. Look here at the front, and you can see all those filings collecting there right behind the magnet, and that is pretty cool. I'll go ahead and take the magnet away. And yeah, you can see them drop right off. So that's pretty neat that that magnet is really holding those iron filings here at the front, keeping the water that little bit cleaner and keeping it away from the grindstone. That is the Tormek T-8 water-cooled sharpening system. Unboxed and set up, which only took a couple of minutes, through to a razor-sharp edge on our chisel. Now again, what I love about this system is how fast, easy, and accurate that it is. There's a variety of ways that you can sharpen tools in your shop, and they all have their pros and cons. What I love about the Tormek is that it's easy to leave set up in your shop, and while you're working, you could take a tool over to it and in 1 or 2 minutes quickly rehone that tool, resharpen an edge, or even set up a new tool and get right back to work. It's very easy to get awesome results and very repeatable results with this system. Now the other thing that I love about the Tormek is that it can grow with your shop and with your tool collection. This thing can sharpen just about everything. If it's got an edge and it cuts, most likely the Tormek T-8 has some optional jig or accessory that you can mount that will sharpen that edge. And so this system can grow along with your tool collection. Now you can always find out more information at highlandwoodworking.com. If you're interested in a system that can really handle it all, I would definitely take a look at the Tormek T-8.